Has he ever stopped to think about how African peoples came to be? As always, in its wealth of narratives and genealogies, sheds light on these worrying issues, revealing an intricate story that connects the trajectory of African peoples to post-flood events. Today, we will explore the lineages and Noah's, discovering the origin and diversity of black peoples. After the flood, Noah and his 3 sons, without Cam and Japheth, received blessings and responsibilities different to repopulate the land. Each of these bloodlines gave rise to different ethnic groups and nations, contributing to human diversity. 100 was blessed by Noah, who was assigned the responsibility to repopulate the region that later would be known as the Middle East. This is often associated with Semitic peoples, including Hebrews and Arabs. The Raphel was awarded the task of repopulating the regions that encompassed Europe and parts of Asia. Chapter 9, verse 27 states, God spread the Raphel as a dog, in turn, received a designation to repopulate the region that later would be associated with Africa. The dog is often linked to African peoples. This division of responsibilities, it was symbolically represented by Noah's blessing to his children. Each was destined to play a role in the re of the land, contributing to diversity, ethnic and cultural background that would emerge in subsequent eras. So Dog and his will be our focus in today's video. Lighting describes Cam as one of the sons of Noah, and his bloodline is often associated with African peoples, especially through your children and grandchildren. Within the of Cam, we found 4 notable Cush sons: Mizraim, Phuti, and Canaan. These sons and their later played significant roles in the formation of the various peoples we know today, including African peoples. Your child, Mizraim, is commonly identified and associated like the ancient Egyptian peoples. His name is often interpreted as 2 lands or 2 countries. This may reflect the geographic duality of Egypt, with its regions of Upper and Lower Egypt. But it is not directly connected. The physical characteristics beyond Egypt. Mizraim is often connected to other regions of North Africa. The influence of Mizraim extends not only geographically, but also culturally, contributing to rich traditions and civilizations that developed along the banks of the Nile River. Their descendants were responsible for forming one of the most remarkable civilizations of history, ancient Egypt. Egyptian culture had a lasting impact, not just in your region, but also in interactions with other civilizations. Over time, on the other hand, Phuti is associated with certain African regions, but the exact identification is less clear. Some scholars suggest that it was maybe related to the peoples of the Horn region of Africa. However, references to Phuti are less detailed compared to other lineages. Your son Canaan, although often mentioned in the Bible, is not considered an ancestor of African peoples, but of the Canaanites who inhabited the Middle East region. This is an important cell to avoid misunderstandings when approaching genealogy and avoid undue generalizations about African peoples. An important report on Canaan is recorded in the book of Chapter 9, verses 20 to 27. The narrative begins with Noah, that after the flood, planted a potato and drinking the wine, got drunk and took off inside his tent. Cam, your child, saw Noah's nakedness and told his brothers without and Japheth, who were outside the tent. Unlike Cam, Sem and Japheth decided to respect their father's dignity. Therefore, took a cover They put her on their shoulders and walking backwards, with their faces facing the other way, not to see it, covered their father's nakedness. The next morning, when he woke up from drunkenness, Noah became aware of what had happened and, enraged, faced a curse on Canaan. Your grandson, dog child, damned be Canaan, that he is the lowest of slaves of your brothers. Blessed be the Lord, the God of 100. May Canaan be your slave. May God expand the territory of Japheth dwell in the tents of 100, and Canaan is a slave to him. Here it is worth making some important caveats. First, it's crucial that we emphasize that the curse was not directed to Cam, father of Canaan, and yes to Cana, Unetu of Noah. The second point is that at this point in the video, I already deserve your like and suggestions on the channel. It will motivate us to bring more quality content. The third point, and most important, is that the curse of Canaan is often misinterpreted and mistakenly associated with African peoples. It is worth noting that Noah faced a curse on Canaan, saying that he would be a servant of his brothers. This specific curse was addressed to Canaan, not to all African peoples. Canaan was descended from Cam, but the curse did not extend to all descendants of Cam, much less to all African peoples. This myth has led to historical misunderstandings as the justification of slavery based on false claims of divine curse. It is essential to demystify this distorted interpretation, recognizing that Canaan's curse was a punishment specific to him, not a sentence about an entire region. Or the Bible does not support the idea that the curse of Canaan justifies treatment, discriminatory, or the inferiority of any ethnic group. The correct interpretation must be based on understanding the cultural context and history of narrative, avoiding unfair generalizations about African peoples or any other ethnic group. Finally, we have Cushi, the eldest son of Ham and grandson of Noah. Cushi is often associated with Ethiopia and Sudan. Your descendants are considered ancestors of the peoples who inhabited these regions, including Ethiopians and Nubians. This lineage is also linked to the ancient kingdoms of Nubia, known for their cultural and historical achievements. The name Cushbai, in turn, has been related to the idea of black skin, or black people. The meaning of the name may indicate distinct physical characteristics, including tight skin tone, which is often associated with African peoples. Cush is also known to have Nimrod. Chapter 10 of Classical Genesis. Cush also Nimrod, the first powerful man on earth. He was the bravest of hunters, and that's why he says he's as brave as Nimrod. At the beginning, his kingdom covered Babel, Iriqui Akaden Kauni, na terra de Sinear. From this land, he left for Syria, where he founded Nineveh, Rehoboth, Go, Kala, and Resen, which lies between Nineveh and Kala, the big city. The city of Babel, in particular, became a significant center in history. The book of reports that the people led by Nimrod decided to build a tower that reached the heavens, known as the Tower of Babel. This ambitious endeavor was interpreted as an attempt to challenge divine authority. Therefore, God intervenes, the language of all the inhabitants of the city, resulting in construction stoppage, dispersion of people around the world, and the multiplicity of languages spoken. We have a video on the channel that tells the story of the Tower of Babel in detail. You might be watching later. Continuing, these meanings of the names of the children of Chem provide a basis for interpretations about the features, people's physicalities associated with these lineages. However, it is crucial to address these interpretations with sensitivity and avoid generalizations. recognizing that the physical characteristics are diverse and cannot be simplified on the basis of in the names. The cell does not provide specific information about the exact age that Cam, son of Noah, would have lived. The longevity of characters, including Cam, is often mentioned in genealogies, but in many cases, an exact number of years of life is not given. The narrative emphasizes that Cam was one of the sons of Noah and therefore would have been born before the flood. One of the explanations for this longevity is associated with a pre-flood condition. Before the flood, a narrative suggests that the environmental conditions were different and people enjoyed a longer life. This longevity is particularly evident in the genealogies presented in the book of. It is estimated that both Dog as 100 could see their 5th or 6th generation, living approximately 600 years each. Various theories and legends circulate around the place of Cam, son of Noah, and these narratives vary in different traditions and cultures. Over time, it is important to emphasize that these stories have solid foundation on historical evidence or archaeological. In some traditions, speculate. I know that Cam has been buried in the Africa region, more specifically in Sudan or Ethiopia. This idea many times is related to Cam association to African peoples. In Finland, the mythological and historical richness of these regions also contributes for speculation about his site. Another theory proposes that Cam was buried in Egypt. This suggestion may be linked to the historical connection between Egypt and African peoples, and as well as funerary traditions, elaborates of ancient Egypt. Many mythological and historical figures have been associated with tombs in the context of this ancient civilization. The Jubilee book reveals intimate details of Cam's life and your strong disapproval before the choices of his youngest son Canaan. Thesisly decide to settle in the lands of 100 that would become Israel. Cam, accompanied by your children, did not hesitate to scold Canaan for your reckless decision. Disapproval was deep because Cam, Mezion, and Cusi instructed Canaan to leave those lands and drive to the region designated for Cam. The Africa Declaration, however, challenging your father's will and ignoring the instructions given. Canaan persisted in inhabiting those lands. This disobedience cast a shadow over family relationships. Discover a narrative marked by tensions and decisions that would shape the fate of the lands. Among Noah's descendants, another curious detail brought in the Jubilee book is that Cam was responsible for founding the first city after the flood as Nael. This city, whose name revered the dog wife, reflected an attempt to establish civilization amidst the ruins left by the flood. Thank you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel, leave your like and click in one of the 2 videos that will appear to keep watching us. Hugs and stay with God.